Get ready for some exciting news in the world of Formula One. Max Verstappen and Red Bull have been dominating the 2023 season, but it seems like there could be a surprise on the horizon. The two-time F1 champion has hinted at his dream move, and it might not involve Red Bull. Curious to know where Max sees himself in the future? That's not all. The FIA is gearing up to shake things up with more rule changes in F1. But don't worry, this time it might actually be for the better. Want to hear Max's thoughts on Ferrari and the latest FIA meddling? Stick around because we've got all the details coming up. But before we do that, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below if you like all things F1. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Ferrari, with its iconic prancing horse logo, holds the legendary status in Formula One, much like Real Madrid in football and the New York Yankees in baseball. As the oldest and most successful team in F1 history, Ferrari's influence is unparalleled. They even possess the power to veto rule changes they perceive as unfair. Driving for Ferrari is a dream for many, inspired by the team's rich history and passionate fanbase. However, in recent years, Ferrari has struggled to achieve championship victories, trailing behind Mercedes and Red Bull. If Ferrari were to withdraw from the sport, it would be a significant loss for F1, as the brand is not only intertwined with the sport but also its most recognizable symbol. Ferrari's future plans in Formula One seem unaffected by any intentions to withdraw or reduce their involvement in the sport. Benedetto Vigna has explicitly addressed speculations about Ferrari scaling back their commitments, dismissing such notions and emphasizing their continued dedication to F1. Sport is very important for us. Racing is in the DNA of our company. So Formula One, World Endurance Championship, and we keep investing there because we see a lot of technologies that can go from the track to the road, said Vigna. That's exciting developments for Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, and all Ferrari enthusiasts. But how does this connect to Max Verstappen? Well, it's a crucial piece of the puzzle. Max has been quite open about his future in Formula One, frequently mentioning the possibility of leaving the sport once his current contract expires in 2028. The prospect of Max's potential departure adds an intriguing element to the future of F1. Fans are speculating about the future plans of the two-time world champions in Formula One. They are curious to know what direction they will take in the sport and what career path they might choose. Red Bull sees the two-time world champion as their superstar and will continue to support them in the coming years. However, there is a possibility that they could be enticed by a new challenge and consider joining Ferrari, according to former Le Mans LMP2 winner Richard Bradley. Such a move would solidify their legacy among the greatest drivers in the history of the sport. I think that Max is going to end up at Ferrari in a couple of years, Bradley told On Track GP. You might be wondering why Max would consider joining Ferrari to establish his legacy in Formula One. Richard provides a straightforward explanation. Max hasn't achieved greatness in a below-average car, which, according to Richard, is a defining characteristic of F1 legends. And when I say that, we look at Schumacher, we look at Senna, Hamilton, and the one thing that defines all of these guys is that they were able to win in a substandard car and take a manufacturer to a position where they weren't winning at the time. But then they're able to bring them back there. Bradley told On Track GP. Schumacher doing it with Ferrari, we had Senna and he was at Lotus. We had Hamilton at McLaren after the new rules came in 2009. And then of course with Mercedes, he added. Richard's statement is quite bold, and his perspective is somehow fair. However, it would be unfair to claim that Max cannot become a legend unless he switches to a weaker team. Imagine if Max surpasses the F1 title records of Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher while staying with Red Bull. Should he not be considered a legend simply because he didn't switch to a less competitive team and achieve success with them? That may seem a bit harsh, but we'll leave it up to you to decide if Richard's viewpoint is accurate. Regardless of that, a potential move by Max to Ferrari is not too distant. In fact, Max himself has expressed that joining Ferrari would be a dream come true for him. although there's a catch involved. "People always ask me if I have a dream team," said Max. "I know Ferrari has an amazing history in Formula 1 and is an amazing team to race for, but I always said to myself, I just want to be in the fastest car. I had to wait a few years to be in the fastest car, and now we do have the fastest car, and that is a great feeling. At this stage, if it happens, it happens. But I'm very happy where I am. And for me personally, the desire having to drive for one particular team at all costs? No," Verstappen added in an interview with Sky F1. It seems that Verstappen shares the dream of joining Ferrari just like Hamilton. The difference is that Max has the advantage of time, and considering Ferrari's efforts to enhance their performance, it's possible we might witness Max driving for Ferrari. However, the real question is why Max would desire to join Ferrari. According to Richard Bradley, the answer lies in Max's pride as a person. Whilst Max is doing exactly what he needs to do in a very, very good team and car, I think he's going to want to prove himself because Max, there's no secret, he's quite a proud person to say the least, and he's going to want to show that he is one of the true all-time greats. And I can see him wanting to bring Ferrari back to the glory that they had with Schumacher in the next few years, Bradley told On Track GP. If you're a Ferrari enthusiast, this news will surely bring joy to your ears. But can even someone as talented as Max Verstappen lead Ferrari to championship victory once again? While the driver plays a role, the real game changer is the car, which Ferrari currently lacks. Speaking of cars, there are potential changes on the horizon for F1 cars, and honestly, they are for the better. Many teams and fans have expressed dissatisfaction with the weight of the cars. Currently, the minimum weight for a 2023 F1 car is 798 kilograms, which is a staggering 210 kilogram heavier compared to the 2008 car. The incorporation of hybrid systems and features like the halo have contributed to this increased weight. The need for lighter and more streamlined cars is evident, especially at circuits like Monaco, where overtaking is nearly impossible. The race often turns into a predictable affair, with the team that secures pole position usually winning. FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem is advocating for lighter Formula 1 cars when the new rule set takes effect in 2026. As the sport prepares for its next significant transformation, including new engine regulations, there are ongoing discussions about the corresponding chassis regulations. Stakeholders agree that instead of getting heavier, as they have been in recent years, the cars should aim to reduce weight. One thing I would like to see is very clear. We need a lighter car. I believe this is better. I come from motorsport where lighter cars are safer and they won't use the same amount of fuel. It will be hard to achieve, but everybody wants it. So I am pushing because I come from rallying, where nothing is worse than having a heavy car, Mohammed bin Sulayem told motorsport.com. Formula 1 CEO Stefano Domenicali agrees with the FIA president's concerns about the weight problem in Formula 1. He acknowledged that the growing weight caused by hybrid engines and batteries contradicts the essence of the sport. Domenicali emphasized the importance of addressing this issue and holding discussions on it in the coming times. One of the points that has always been a debate has been the weight, Domenicali said. As you know, with the hybrid engines, with the batteries, the weight is getting higher, and that is something that is not really in the nature of F1. So it's a topic for discussion for the future, he added. As we wrap up this discussion on the exciting developments in Formula 1, there are some burning questions for you, the audience, to ponder. Will Max Verstappen fulfill his dream of joining Ferrari and solidify his legacy as one of the true all-time greats? Can he lead Ferrari back to their former glory just as Schumacher did? And what about the future of F1 cars? Should they become lighter and more agile to enhance safety and competition? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.